What's up? Welcome back. I'm John Stark from MacTheMovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic, and today we're going to get into a movie. It's BAFTA nominated. It's not that movie, it's the other one. This is Mr. Burton. This is a film that is going to disappear over here in America because we don't know what movies are. And whereas we send our movies over to the UK and port them over there, and they go, "Oh my God, Marty Supreme." They port them over here, and we go, "What is this? Can Samuel Goldwyn distribute this? Please, get it away from me." So, I don't know what the embargo is on this because I didn't get a screener directly from the studio. But I love this movie, and I'm going to talk about it before it comes out. So, suck it. Uh, Mr. Burton is an excellent BAFTA nominated movie for Best British Film and Best Breast Best Subscribe. Uh, should have been nominated for more. This is a film with if you don't know anything about it, just trust me on it and just head off the video and go watch it and enjoy it because there's a little bit of a playfulness, a little bit of a double meaning in terms of the title that I like if you have no idea what it is. Uh, it's a clever title um, for the 3% of the population that will watch this movie without reading IMDb, checking anything about the film, who just go into a movie and they go, "Oh, Mr. Burton. Sounds like my kind of movie. Know nothing about it, but let's check it out." um, but there's a way that the film is structured that I think is interesting if you don't know what it is. But from now on, I have to tell you what it is. Ah! So, Richie is played by uh, Daniel Lawton. I feel like I'm supposed to know who this guy is. He's been in a bunch of things, but honestly, he's escaped my my purview, despite being in stuff like The Pale Blue Eye and Joker Folie à Deux, mainly because his call to fame has been Industry, which I stopped watching after the first season. It's cool if you still watch it. It came up at like the same time as Succession, and I felt like it was kind of trying to be a little like that, and I just kind of stopped watching Industry. So, it's probably fine. It's probably a good show. So he's from that. And he plays Richie, who's a young, uh, that's my only problem with the movie, school-age boy over in the UK, um, back during the war era, back during World War II era. And is too young to be drafted. His dad works in a mine, and he comes from a family where nobody has ever graduated there and gotten their school certificate. So his dad is a drunk. I always love when people have no money, but they have tons of money for alcohol. Those are my favorite characters. We have no money. It's because you drank it, literally. Um, but he wants this kid to drop out of school so that he can earn some money. And like, I guess um, I don't know, the niceness here, the kind act that his father gives him, even though his father is a drunk bitch, is to put him to work in a haberdashery. And in case you just like love hearing that word haberdashery, then this film is for you. Um, so Richie has to drop out and go to work there, even though he shows a lot of promise in school and is very smart and actually likes being there and all that kind of stuff. So his teacher, Mr. Burton, takes notice, and one day he sees him working at this haberdashery, and he has a conversation with him and asks him, what's going on, and he starts investing himself in this kid's life. And Toby Jones plays Mr. Burton. It's a wonderful performance from him. Of course, it's always a wonderful performance from Toby Jones. And he it's kind of about that journey and about how Mr. Burton really gets involved with Richard's life and changes it for, I would say, the massive better. The film has a lot of interesting things that it plays with in a dynamic of something that you might have seen before in this sort of space. It does. I was waiting for the film to address the older gentleman taking care of young boy thing and how they were going to walk right into that, and they do. Um, but they always keep it like that. That's not what this relationship is, even though it's brought up like, haha, lol, from some other people. His there's a scene where Richie needs his dad to do something for him that his dad really doesn't want to do. And he makes a joke about him, you know, being gay and thinking that that's what Richie's relationship to Mr. Burton is. It's not, never is. There isn't even a hint of that in this thing. They just happen to have Mr. Burton be single and not romantically entangled to anybody, even though he has this character, Ma, that is, I was confused. That was the only thing that confused me a little bit. I was like, are you like a helper? Are you the tenant? Are you... It was hard to tell how they were tangentially connected, to each other. They might have been together, but they had so little like chemistry as characters that it came across as like casual friends, like people who know each other but not like know each other. So there is a character that they kind of live with, but a lot of the comments are just kind of how you might how you might run into somebody who is like a super acquaintance. Somebody who's not just like, hey, I ran into that one time, but you're like, oh, I've seen you. We see each other a couple times. I don't know that we're considering each other friends, but yeah, we keep running into each other at parties. We have mutual friends. I feel comfortable around this person. So, um, so what it is. You're like, I don't want to see this movie. Sounds stupid. I hate you already. But I love this movie. This movie is so great. It's a Richard Burton biopic. So it turns out, and in like a heart. So one of the things is halfway through the movie is that when they start addressing this whole like young man lives with older men who's not related to him thing, because Mr. Burton's trying to help him out and pay his way so that he can finish school, go to college, all those kind of things. He thinks he's a great actor. He used to be an actor himself. He had gone over and LA and worked with some of the early Hollywood talent. And so Richard he knows his stuff, and other people know that he knows his stuff too, Mr. Burton. And Richie is looking for that. He's just excited that he might actually have a future at all, that anybody looks to. It's not really until people start addressing he might be gay rumors that his character starts becoming sort of like an alcoholic prick. And it's not like a great message, but also it's a biopic, so I'm gonna assume that this is actually kind of at least somewhat true. And it's people's like suggestions as to like what this relationship is. He's trying to go for something, and they're like, "Oh no, your last name is Burton. Your last name is Jenkins." So, why don't you figure that out? So, basically, then that's when Mr. Burton realizes that he has to take legal guardianship over so that he can give his name to Richard, or so there's no sense of malfeasance type thing. But Richard just takes it in that other direction of like, ah, this is what you wanted from me all along. And he's never once made any sort of like remotely so. But yeah, the film kind of tops that off nicely at the end with the whole, because obviously he becomes Richard Burton. It's not his last name, but there's this very complicated, history where his dad's a dick. Mr. Burton is the most adorable person on the face of the planet. We all made a Mr. Burton in our lives. And Richard is he comes like full circle. Like he goes and he's kind of goes off on his own, storms off, and he gets an opportunity to do this thing, but he also becomes like a raging alcoholic. And they call it Mr. Burton, who the last time he spoke to Richard, they kind of had a blowout. And that's kind of the third act of the film is Mr. Burton being reminded by Ma, the character who I don't know how they know each other. Um, that well, you did take guardianship over him, so why don't you go do that? So he kind of like reluctantly goes to help this alcoholic Richard Burton with this gig that could be the biggest gig of his life, that could really set forth his career. Of course, we know how the story ends because everybody knows who Richard Burton is. If you're young and you don't, it's just because it was a while ago. Go look up his movies. He's been in a lot of classic films. And he's considered to be, at least the film claims at the end, that he's the most well-known Welsh actor to date. I think that's a tall order, but okay. Still, I didn't Google Welsh actors to counter that, but yeah, he is still a very famous actor. Also known for his connections to Elizabeth Taylor. So I love the movie. I just love this movie from top to bottom, just all over, just inside and out. The performances, everything was great. The only thing that I didn't like, which actually kind of is fine by the end of it, is that this is what I said his name was. It's like Daniel or Harry or something like that plays. It's Harry. Actually, I think I said it was Daniel, but I think it's Harry. Who plays Richard is I didn't believe him for a second as being like young enough to be in the grade school level that he is supposed to be in. Not 1 second. That this dude has a voice and a presence that he's supposed to carry, right? And he just like walks into them and he's like, "I'm Richie." Like, you're not, what age are you supposed to be in this scene? So, I mean, he reads like he cannot be below university level. He's actually 29, and it's better for him to read that way because the whole like later half of the film, he reads older, and he finally like when Richard's got his big gig and he has to have all this like presence and this sort of unearned maturity to him through his years of drinking. Um, he has a very different commanding presence to him, and it's one that he clearly that's what they were looking for. They're like, yeah, this will be fine with him being in school for a little while at the beginning. He's not there for very long. um but I did have, because I didn't know where the film was going to go at the beginning, I was like, this kid's not in school. This kid has failed like a lot of grades if he's still in school. This kid has failed he's had to repeat every grade twice. So, yeah. I think that's really the only thing I could be like, I don't know about this movie. But I just love the movie. I love the movie. I love all of it. It warmed my heart, warmed my soul. I It's being released by Samuel Goldwyn. So this film does have audio description in the UK, but Samuel Goldwyn just doesn't with audio descriptions, so I don't think it's gonna carry. I don't think they're gonna use the UK audio description, which is fine because I didn't love the UK audio description either. The UK audio description is kind of a little like infantilizing. Um, so it's hard for me to interpret, but I would think there were some times it's possible that they were speaking like in pure Welsh, but I thought there were some times where the characters just had accents, because they were Welsh, and so they were dubbed as if like you couldn't understand what they were saying. Like it was so impossible. And there were a couple times where I could kind of hear over the audio description that like I could hear that that was the word that was underneath it, and I was like, but I can understand them. Who is this for? Why are we dubbing people who are speaking English? Um, so that it's not like a UK track that I'm like, guys, this is the greatest thing I've ever heard. We got to keep this one around. So, although audio description is audio description, and the fact that there is some versus none, is I would rather have that. So, but it is kind of like, and be better if an American company could come through and perhaps not do that. So, but Samuel Goldwyn just doesn't fuck with audio description. So sad but true. Toby Jones is brilliant here. Toby Jones has been brilliant in a lot of things. Would have been nice. This is where BAFTAs, I wish they could have a little bit more range in terms of, but then we get pissed off and we go, why didn't they nominate our American actor for our American film? And they nominated it instead. I think it's great that they gave it to the guy from the film that the internet is angry at now. Because they likely have a lot of those films and they just haven't opened over here yet. And they should nominate more performances like that. They should have more things like that. They don't need to fill our things with this because Mr. Burton then comes over here, right? And we don't give it the same time of day. This is a film that's nominated for Best British Film. That's like Best Picture for them. This is one of their top 10 films of the year. It's being released quietly by Samuel Goldwyn. And I guarantee you didn't know it was coming out until like I told you. Like, hello. So, but yet, there's some sort of expectation that all of our little films that the UK people and all those other countries should know about our films. Like if I had like Kick You, which is like a small American film with Rose Byrne, like over there, they're like, I gotta know what this is. I guess. I mean, I don't know how it's much more different than anyway. So I feel like that movie has a higher profile in the UK than this movie will over here, and it's rude. I don't like it, but I love Mr. Burton. So, I don't really have much bad to say about this film. It's about 2 hours. It didn't feel like it was long. It felt like it told the story in parts and chapters, moving up, and the only thing that I thought was kind of weird in Mr. Burton's like teachings, simply because like it was obvious that Mr. Burton didn't know how to how to get Richard to focus his voice and be able to project, to be able to use his stage voice. So he just kind of has him like scream on a hill for an indeterminate amount of time, and I'm like, that's not teaching him anything. He's like, keep screaming until it doesn't hurt, and I'm like, but if he's doing it wrong, it's a film that was written by somebody who didn't look up like how the voice works and couldn't like interpret that scene into a way that would be meaningful about like how to focus your vocal tones and vocal cords and that kind of thing. I guess to get the breath out of his voice. I don't know. It was kind of a poorly explained sequence as to why, but it leads to this funny sequence where Richie's on a hill shouting for a long, long time. So, yeah, there you go. There, I found something negative to say about the film. I'm gonna give Mr. Burton, I'm gonna give it an 8.8 out of 10. I really like this film. I don't know that it's like going to become like a legendary film for all time, but damn it, it should have a shot. A film like Mr. Burton should have been picked up by a legitimate distributor that was actually going to try to run it some sort of campaign here, give it some sort of what the fuck is Sony Pictures Classics doing? You know, like where are you guys on these things? Um, this is perfect for Sony Pictures Classics. So I don't know where they're at. uh, I would have taken Magnolia at this point for this film. Roadside, you know. Samuel Goldwyn. What was their last film? Cold Storage with Liam Neeson. Anyway, yeah, I'm not super stoked about it, so I'm gonna try to get out there ahead of time until you see this movie. Get out, watch it when it's on demand. Hopefully, it has audio description in America because the Brits got it. It's an excellent movie. It, it could be in my top whatever of the year at the end list easily, and I wouldn't be surprised at all. It's hard to tell who the lead is, too, because they have both an equal amount of screen time and they're both Mr. Burton. So it's an interesting sort of debate as to who the lead actor is in this film. Is it Richie? Is it Mr. Burton? Because oftentimes when I use the who's the protagonist, when you're trying to figure out who the lead actor is, it's like, well, who does the camera follow? Like, I can have a lot of debates about that, especially in terms of Nuremberg. Um, the film where they submitted both Rami Malek and Russell Crowe for lead, the camera follows Rami Malek. It doesn't really spend a lot of time with Russell Crowe without anyone else. So it doesn't like go about his day and follow him around. It kind of cuts to him maybe a couple times, but the film clearly follows Rami and Michael Shannon, not so much Russell, maybe because he's trapped in jail. So that kind of thing. Here, it follows them both. So they're co-leads. This is a true co-lead situation. Um, yeah, that's it. That's what I got. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the other side.